somehow, some way, against the odds, you made it to 2 days to go. 2 days till the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. 2 days, and at one point it was like 80 days, and now we're at 2 days. What's going on, everybody? Good morning, Mario. Good morning, Switch fans. It's Zach from SwitchForce. We're here. That's combining my intro into one short bite because I got a lot of interesting news to talk to you about today, including many anticipated games being kind of reintegrated in a way into the Switch 2 lineup. Halo talk coming at the Switch 2 Direct, and we've got another game that is going to be revealed soon. It just leaked, and I think it's going to be on Switch 2 for sure. So this is a very good day. I posted my long, in-depth, detailed predictions of everything you're going to see at the Switch 2 Direct last night. If you want to check out that video, it's already up on the channel. And then I did a video with Nintendo Talk, my good old pal from the Animal Crossing days, and we talked on his channel about even more regarding the Switch 2 and some surprises that we pie in the sky think could be there, as well as how they're going to price things and do their pre-orders. But first, let's talk about Halo. All right, Halo the Master Chief Collection to me would be such a big get for Nintendo. It would further cement the Microsoft entanglement, and it would really show how entangled Microsoft is becoming in these other platform holders. Their games are everybody's games, and they're making good on the promise that everything is an Xbox. Well, there's a lot of big Microsoft titles that could pop at this Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, including things like Doom the Dark Ages, Starfield, the Oblivion remake that's supposed to be announced sometime soon, but also Halo the Master Chief Collection. Halo the Master Chief Collection is something that has been teased and rumored for the Switch 2, and I think it's one of the craziest, most exciting ones. Not because I'm so looking forward to replaying Halo 1, but because of the stamp it would make on a Nintendo Switch 2 to say, like, Master Chief is on Switch 2. The first time Master Chief moves anywhere else besides Xbox and, I guess, PC is the Nintendo Switch 2. Before PlayStation, that's pretty freaking cool. So Tom Warren, who is a very reputable source, was talking about Xbox support at the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. His co-host said, "I feel like that's the announcement of Master Chief Collection for Switch and PlayStation right there." Tom Warren said, "Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be a collection in the sense of, oh really?" said Jez Corden, and Tom says, we don't think it'll have every game, put it that way, the most I can say on it. So very interesting that he thinks it will be Halo, or very well could be Halo, but not the collection. Tom Warren did further say, well, you remember I reported they were doing the CE stuff for PS5, so maybe it's just Halo CE, Halo 1 moving to Switch 2. And I think that would be a very fair kind of arrangement that would still make Xbox fans feel like, hey, we got the Master Chief Collection in the way it's meant to be, and Halo is also on PlayStation and Nintendo Switch, but in a much more reduced form factor. And I wonder if that's a good strategy for Microsoft to employ with games and series like Gears of War and Halo, where they could put a game or two games and try to encourage you, bait you to move to the Xbox ecosystem to play their latest new entries. But either way, Halo showing up on Wednesday to me is one of the craziest things. It's not like my most anticipated game or anything. It's not the one I want to play most, but it still would just really set this Direct apart. And I feel like it's already going to be a bonanza of a show. I think it's going to be full of heavy hitters, but it's not going to be full of some of those ports you've been hoping for, some of those Nintendo remasters you've been wanting. Now, let me know in the comments down below if Halo CE on Switch 2 would do it for you. Would that be one of the biggest announcements of the day? Or do you think Halo's in a place where it might be pretty small? Well, Nate the Hate believes that Metroid Prime 2, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, all these games are going to be relegated to smalldom. And by that, I mean NSO, not getting dedicated console releases. For years now, we've heard from the sources across the globe that Metroid Prime 2, Metroid Prime 3, they were all coming. They were being prepped. Prime 1 was the remaster. Prime 2 and 3 were just going to come to get you ready for 4. Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD, they were waiting in the wings, and none of them ever materialized. And now, rather than being saved as just like Switch 1 afterthoughts, it seems like these games are coming to NSO or not at all. Nate the Hate Nate Drake, who correctly leaked last week's surprise, unexpected Nintendo Switch 1 Direct, says at this point, only if they hit NSO for Metroid Prime 2 especially. And then he was asked to feel the same about Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, and he said yes. Now, I see people saying, boo, this is awful news. They're not going to come out on Switch 2, but I feel like this actually is great news for you. I don't know about you, but I would much rather get Gamecube, Metroid Prime 2, and Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess as part of my NSO subscription, a new tier unveiled for Switch 2, including Gamecube and incorporating that library of games, than have to pay $120 for these titles, or $180 depending on how they package them. I think, yes, it's sad that they're not getting a dedicated cartridge release, but on the other hand, you're going to get them for so much cheaper. And the talk was that Metroid Prime 2 wasn't going to be remastered anyways. Wind Waker and Twilight Princess probably would have just been ports of the Wii U versions. You weren't going to get any razzle-dazzle. Nintendo hasn't really done that. I think Captain Toad Treasure Tracker had a bunch of new levels. Other than that, it's like Funky Kong and maybe like something slightly reworked, the UI. I don't know. I feel like they did a poor job at incentivizing repurchasing games, except like nostalgia and you gotta have it because it's Nintendo. I think this is great news. And even if there is demand there, these are the games that can make the demand for NSO. If Nintendo is more concerned with selling NSO subscriptions than they are a few extra games, because they know they're going to sell a ton of games. They know they can push Mario Kart on you, Metroid Prime 4 on you, a new 3D Mario on you, heck, eventually a new Zelda on you, and you will buy it. You will pay $70 and you'll love it. Nintendo does not have any issue selling software, but one thing that they would like to bolster is their online ecosystem. And so placing these titles that do have demand, yes, but placing them on GameCube NSO is a way to get people to buy into that, even if previously they maybe weren't interested. I think this is a smart business move, and frankly, it's a great wallet move. I would much rather pay a slightly increased NSO price and get a whole library of GameCube games than have to pay individually for Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Metroid Prime 2, and Metroid Prime 3. That sounds like a lot of money that I could instead spend towards my Switch 2, and I'd much rather put it there. I know some people are going to be bummed, but I think it's kind of funny that we did have some games that stayed in rumor leak territory for almost the entirety of the Switch 1 generation, and I kind of love that they're just going to stay there in the rumor leak territory. Never actualized, never fully realized, never released, as we thought they surely would be. And I think this generation is going to be one where Nintendo does not rely nearly as heavily on ports or remasters or remakes. So yeah, I think GameCube NSO is a great fit for this. And I'd love to see Nintendo emphasize new games for Switch 2. We don't need our Donkey Kong Country Returns on Switch 2. We don't need our Mario vs. Donkey Kong on Switch 2. We don't need Wind Waker on Switch 2. Put it on NSO and give us a new cel-shaded Zelda. Give us a new Donkey Kong. There's so many more opportunities to experience new, exciting evolutions of our favorite franchises, plus get the nostalgic games on NSO. It's best of both worlds. I can't see how that isn't just the ultimate solution. Now, Star Wars is one of my favorite things as of late, not because of the movies, but because of the card game that I'm obsessed with. Star Wars Unlimited is probably my game of the year for 2024, and until something from Nintendo comes out, it's probably game of the year 2025, and it's fine. It's a card game. It can usurp video games once in a blue moon, but it looks like Respawn's Star Wars Tactics game has leaked. This game is set to be revealed in the Star Wars Celebration in early April, and I gotta think that how close this is coming out to the Switch 2 reveal, it's not gonna be at the Switch 2 presentation, but I do think this Tactics game is a perfect fit for Nintendo Switch 2. EA, I'm sure, would love to get on board with some new titles, and this being a tactics game, it should definitely run. I mean, I don't want to be saying that a few weeks from now. I want to be in the mindset where we can just say anything and everything can work and run on Switch 2. I feel like that's what we should expect. That's what we should want from Nintendo, and we should be disappointed if it's anything other than that. But alas, right now where we are pre-Switch 2 Direct, this is a tactics game. It's like an XCOM with Star Wars, which seems like a sweet fit. Honestly, it looks a lot like the Gears Tactics game, which I really loved on Xbox. That would be a fun one to bring to Switch, but in the meantime, could we get this Star Wars Tactics codename Bruno game from Respawn, the makers of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor? That would be a great trifecta to get. You announce Star Wars Tactics, it's cool and coming. While we wait on Switch 2, boom, they bring us Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, and EA is able to incorporate some more recent games onto the Switch and start building out a catalog and building up coins. I would love to see all of these hit Nintendo Switch, some Star Wars action that isn't from 25 years ago, but we are 2 days away, and so that means we're going to see a ton. One thing I did want to bring up is that everything that we've been anticipating for Switch 2 does not have to be announced at this Direct. Remember, the third parties have been gag ordered by Nintendo to not say any of their games are coming to Switch 2. So that means that even if one of your favorite third-party games that you were really hoping for on Wednesday does not show up, it still could be announced shortly after or in the coming months. We're getting close to the Keeleys, the E3 Summer Bonanza, Summer Game Fest, that sometimes is a bonanza and often isn't, but maybe it will be this year with Switch 2 announcements. So if something like Final Fantasy doesn't show up at the Wednesday Direct, if something like Metaphor ReFantazio does not show up, or Star Wars, or Madden, a game of that sort, it still easily could pop. Nintendo only has so many slots, and they probably worked out some big money deals to get a spot in this big money Nintendo presentation. If you are featured alongside the console, whether as a launch game, a launch window game, or just a direct inclusion, right up next to Mario and Mario Kart, you paid some money and you got lucky. So not every third-party game can be there. There will be more third-party games announced for Switch 2 throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, and obviously leading up to launch and beyond. So I would not worry. I think there's going to be a heavy third-party presence. They can't possibly announce everything, but let me know how you feel about the big GameCube games being shifted from Switch remasters to NSO ports, according to Nate the Hate and Jeff Grubb, if they happen at all. And there's sort of leeway in how they worded it, that maybe those games don't come. And then what about Halo? Not Master Chief Collection, but maybe just Halo 1 dropping at the Direct on Wednesday, bringing Master Chief and Mario together for a high five for the first time. It's Isabelle and Doomguy, Mario and Master Chief, two of the best couples around. Let's make it happen, Microsoft and Nintendo. In the meantime, everybody, thanks so much for watching. 2 days to go. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Love you lots. SwitchForce out.